on this, flex on that. Got my center, got it back. Yeah, run it.
Bloody hell, I'm
That
sore.
Gucci skunk, girl, make your ankles.
Big days.
Oh, not even big days. I just slept like a dickhead, I'm assuming. Oh, it's killing me, eh? It's actually not
Yeah.
that bad at the moment. I can at least turn my head. Oh, that way turns. But before it was like I could barely move my head and it was just killing. It's like right up against my spine, like behind my back here, like about here
Yeah.
somewhere. There's a knot. Mrs. found the knot. There's definitely a big knot there somewhere. Oh, dearie me. Well, g'day. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the podcast. We were just discussing off recording that we feel like the podcast is in a bit of a morphing phase. We're not really sure which way it's going. We're not sure if we're just going to stick to doing story time and then have topics as like an offhand. We've sort of just doing broad strokes now and everything. We're doing like music stories or camping stories or driving stories. We're thinking of doing movie stories, TV show stories, like stuff like that. Not even stories. It's just like talking very broad strokes, and maybe that will be a little bit better. Because we're not really sure how to do it. We got topics that we usually do. It's just sort of hard to even think of a topic, or if we got a topic, like one of us may know some things, the other person's going to know fucking jack shit. And then you have to try getting in someone to talk with. And if anyone's done anything to do with podcasting, it's nearly impossible to get cunts to talk with. Like you got to record at stupid times. People don't ever come to your time. You got to sort of go to theirs a little bit. And we've got work and other stuff to do. If you didn't have
Especially
that,
when
if
we got
you had like a lot of spare time, easy, you could do whatever you wanted, but it's just making it a bit difficult. Like we'll still definitely get guests in, and maybe when we get guests in, we'll do a particular topic or just a story time or something like that. Maybe we'll change the name to Story Time with Beard and the Bird. There appears to be a lot of things called Story Time, but maybe if we change the name to Story Time, we'll get found a little bit easier too, possibly. Yeah.
But it's also pretty rough on us when we've got like mates over other side of the world, like England. Like right now, they're only just waking up when we're just finishing work. So it's sort of like we're in between. Should we go and have like, what days do they got off that'll work out well with us, and that sort of thing.
Then if it's like, oh, we can do it Saturday sort of thing. It's lunchtime for them, yet we're on pretty late. And if we've got anything on that Saturday, anything at all, we're completely stuffed and we can't do anything, you know?
Yeah.
We've got a prior plan of anything. It's sort of like, well, then we can't do it that day. Next week, oh, I'm not available next week. And saying, oh, fuck, don't worry about it then, you know?
Which is why I also thought, like, going back on previous episodes, thinking about like time zones and everything and why it's a bit hard. But I also thought, like, when we did the F1 episode with Striker, when we actually recorded the episode a week in advance. So we had the episode drop on a Tuesday night. That very next night, Striker's day off, we weren't doing anything. He wasn't doing anything. Let's go record.
That worked.
That worked out really well.
We had to but I mean, we still had to record on a Wednesday. Like, I don't think we got to stream that night because of it too. Like, it's sort of
exactly.
It's either one of it's half a dozen one, half dozen the other. We're very time constrained people at the moment. You know, if we didn't have work, if streaming was all we did, we'd have all the time in the world.
Yeah,
we could find time
100%.
very easily, but we don't stream for a living. We fucking work, and then some days you got to do overtime, some days you don't. Some days are so physically intense. By the time I come home, I'm fucked.
Yep.
It just happens. Last week,
just want to chill on the couch and do.
Magpie's been sick, so we usually record on the Sunday, but because he's been sick and he's only starting to get better, Sunday just didn't work because he was too busy.
I had to push everything off for the whole week and just
had to do it all on fucking one day.
Yeah.
I was still up. Did you have to mow the lawn?
No, Mrs. did that. The Mrs. did that.
Oh,
she did that during the week.
Oh, look out.
Yeah, she did that during the week while I was sick. So it was all right.
And your school holidays, so you had to deal with all the kids while you're sick too.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But it's like more like just housework, housework just piled up. It's usually stuff that I get around to doing I couldn't do because I was crook.
Yeah.
Just piled up on me and just had to get it done on Sunday.
Yeah. It's fucking
'Cause
rubbish, eh?
someone has to go back to work today, and guess what? That poor cunt was me.
Haha, lol.
So
Suck shit, cunt.
I'm just having a week off.
Oh, excuse
Week off
me.
doing nothing. Laying in bed all day.
How's the sport been going? How about the Formula One in Australia? What happened there? What happened to
What
Verstappen?
happened there? Verstappen, he's some fluids. He was smelling some burning fluids.
And what would happen? Something spilled out.
Yeah, so they haven't really fully diagnosed it yet. They won't be able to until probably tomorrow when the car actually gets back to the Milton Keynes factory. So see, the problem is especially with a Grand Prix, especially in like Australia, other side of the world, they got a week to unpack everything, but they only got a couple of days to pack up and ship off to the next event.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing that there's a week in between events this week. So this weekend there's no event. So they'll go back to England at Milton Keynes, where the Red Bull factory is. They'll be able to pull the car apart and actually have a look and diagnose what the hell went wrong, try and fix that, put it all back together.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it was one of the most boring races I ever fucking watched in Formula One.
Really? I didn't watch any of it. I was going to, but then I didn't.
If this season is going the way that it's been going for the past 3 races, so mind you, it's only round 3, right?
Out of how many? 30.
22.
Okay.
So is that 1/7 of the way through?
Yeah.
Still got a fair way to go, but you can just see at the start of the season, like Ferrari, their pace is unremarkable. They've just come out.
Unremarkable is remarkable.
Oh, it's remarkable. Like, how would you describe it? It's
unfathomable.
Yeah, that's the one. Like, it's just come out of nowhere. Like, they just grab the ball by the horns and just fucking gone.
Yeah.
And if it keeps going that way, and none of these other, like, Mercedes can't keep up. Mercedes cars pretty shit at the moment. Red Bull is their first year.
They still had Mercedes still had 2 in the top 5, didn't they? Didn't they come 3 and 4?
They come 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's fucking pretty good.
Would have been 4 and 5.
Why?
Red Bull would have had 2 and 3.
Yeah, well, they fucking car broke, so how good's them? They're still only 5 seconds behind. They weren't ridiculously far behind.
But like, from the way that it's 5 seconds behind, 25 seconds behind the lead.
Behind the leader, but they're only fucking 5 seconds behind Red Bull.
Yeah. But like, none of the cars are able to keep up with Ferrari at the moment. And if it's just going to be that way through this whole season, it's just going to be so
What about
boring.
the other one, that DNF? What about Sainz Jr.?
Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
He ended up in the gravel pit.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was lap 2? He ended up in the gravel pit. And lap 1, ended up in the gravel pit. It was like turn 3 or something. Just went in too deep, got a bit of a touch, spun in the gravel pit.
Yep. So did Verstappen actually race, or did he not even start?
Verstappen raced. He raced 38 laps.
Yeah. Oh, and then it fucked out.
Mm-hmm.
Spew.
So it was
shit. What position was he?
Second.
Mm.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they kept going the way they go, and like Sergio Perez just stormed through the pack, he comes second. So
yeah, I know Ricardo
like
could have come 5th if he was allowed to. I heard he got told to only come to not put pressure on or something.
Yeah. So what was happening was they were monitoring, and on the very last lap, they were monitoring a problem with Lando Norris. They turned around to Ricardo and said, we're monitoring. He might slow down. Don't pressure him. Might fuck the car if you pressure him and put him under pressure to fucking defend that.
Yeah,
Ricardo
or
turned
if
around and was
if
like,
you're too close behind him, it might lose power.
yeah, yeah. And Ricardo just turned around and said, well, what happens if he starts slowing down? And they just said, oh, well, then overtake him then. Like, overtake him. And he was like 5 seconds behind Norris or something. And he made that up, and he was only 4/10 behind at the finish line. Like, they were neck and neck.
Hopefully
at the
they
finish
have.
line.
Hopefully McLaren goes a little bit better. I wouldn't mind seeing Ricardo and Norris do a little bit better. They can finish top 5 a few more times. That'd be freaking sick.
Well, this is the first race this year, so 3 rounds, but the first race this year that they both got double points.
Yeah.
So, and it's their car looks a lot better than the last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Especially Ricardo's car. Like, Ricardo wasn't able to do preseason testing due to being sick.
Oh,
so
right.
the first time he actually jumped in the car was round 1.
Yeah, right. So he might get better and better. Like McLaren might jump up a little bit more.
Yeah, and like Lando Norris has had all off season and everything to help out. So is Ricardo, but he was able to do testing. So
yeah. Oh, how interesting.
Yeah. Feel sorry for fucking Haas and Aston Martin, but what can you do?
Why is that? Do they have 2 DNFs?
Well, Haas didn't have any spare chassis for their drivers, so one big crash and that car was out, no matter what.
Yeah.
When they came to Australia, their chassis bank there were like nothing in the chassis bank. There was no spare chassis, nothing.
Right.
Big crash that warped the chassis. That's gone. You can't race. The weekend's done.
I think I'm 13th
Aston Martin,
and 14th.
Yeah. Aston Martin, Sebastian Vettel spent more time on the back of a scooter than he did in his car.
Yeah, right.
It's just crashing. They went through millions and millions of dollars this weekend, and it's just unreal, those 2 teams. And so did Williams. Williams went through massive. So, but yeah, that's the Formula One. Like, it wasn't too bad of a race. I just think it was a bit boring, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's just no fight for the lead. There was no on the edge of your seat. Like,
yeah,
you know, like last race, there was some edge of your seat moments. Leclerc and Verstappen were just going 1-2 around each corner. Like, they were neck and neck around the corners. Man, this one here, Leclerc just gone.
Yeah, just the Ferrari's just on another level at the moment.
Yeah, they're just crazy. So,
the footy was pretty interesting. The NRL
footy. Yeah, did you watch any of it?
Not really, man. I'm just not feeling footy this year. I don't know why. I want to be watching it more, but I'm just not
probably not feeling it just yet. You may have to wait for.
I did see the Czech
Origin
streaker get fucking drilled by the security guard.
She got smashed.
That was fucking funny. That was funny. If she got fucked, she's running around. She had just a bra on and jeans, and she's running. And one bloke tried to grab it. He tried to grab her, and it looked like he tried to grab her bra. Then he missed, and then she's looking, and then she looked back straight, and there's one security guard coming straight at her, and just went fucking just fucking axed her. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but then the very next day at the Sharks fucking West Tigers game, there was another pitch invader. He jumped on with a flare.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he jumped on with the flare, ran through the team because they were getting ready to do a scrum. Ran through the team and everything. Fucking security guard just piled into him.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's fucking funny.
Four of them grabbed him up off the ground. Flair was still on the ground, burning a hole in the field, bro.
Cool.
Oh,
I don't know how much happens overseas. I see it happens, but like streakers used to be a big thing in Australia. Cunts used to do it all the time, but now it's like an instant $5,000 fine and like you're banned for life. Like it's fucking bad. You have to have that sitting there ready to go if you want to fucking invade the pitch, because you're not going to get caught. You're obviously going to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
They have too much security at fucking games now.
That's like going on to like pitch invaders and that. There was a crowd invasion last weekend.
Where at?
Was it last weekend?
NRL?
In the AFL.
AFL.
Yeah. Buddy Franklin kicked his 1,000th.
Oh, I did see something about that. Yeah.
And the whole crowd just just immersed onto the field. It was fucking unreal to see. Just the amount of people that just jumped the fence and just went and swarmed him.
Yeah, but how
2
much
weeks ago.
How much longer was in the game?
It was only the second quarter or something, eh? It was a fair way to go through the game.
Fucking hell.
Took like half an hour to get everyone off the field and start again.
That's crazy. Surely they didn't get
But-
everyone. So you could have ran on and go, yeah, and then ran off and no one really probably noticed.
But see, the funny thing is, the CEO of the AFL knew how close Buddy Franklin's 1000th goal was and pretty much knew what was going to happen and said, you know, like, we can't stop you from doing it, but do it safely, pretty much is how he said.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
you're going to invade the pitch. Do it safely. Don't hurt any of the players. Don't hurt yourself.
Did they do it?
Like,
Did any players get hurt or anything?
Nah, like they all expected it to happen. So they all
It's
were
a
just like,
pretty nice
ready
little
for it.
occasion.
yeah.
No, that's all right.
And like
then.
they went back on like crowd invasions. I was watching one thing on the back page live and they went through like all these different crowd invasions. I was like, it used to be a big thing, hey?
was that,
someone hit a
there was that
milestone.
one where was it Australia won the World Cup or something like that?
With the West Indies.
Something like that. I remember that. And like
Yeah.
the security guards had to come in and like pretty much protect Steve Waugh and stuff like that as they ran
Yeah.
off. I remember
Yeah,
seeing that.
they tried to grab Steve Waugh's bat and he's just like, nah, fuck you.
That's back
Yeah.
before they got tons of bats.
Yeah.
Back then you would have been like,
And
here you
that
go,
was-
have the bat, mate.
But that was back when like the boundaries was the boundary.
Yeah,
of
the fence.
field. It was the
yeah.
fence.
Couldn't have security
Like-
guards sitting there fucking ready to stop people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
remember
it's fucking. It's been crazy the last couple of weeks with pitch invaders and shit, especially in the sport.
That's cool. Good. Hope it happens
Yeah.
more often. Glad it didn't happen in the F1, but you know,
I
they
think
make
people
fucking
are a lot more
sure you
smarter.
can't do that in the F1. Like there's big fences
peop-
and stuff.
yeah.
Oh, they have to have big
I
fences
think
just in
they're a
case a
lot
part
smarter.
comes off. If they have a crash and a part comes off and flies real quick, you need a cage to catch it. I think Magpie's just gone mute. Just a classic pause from us, you know, it happens. What games have you been playing? You still playing GTA?
That's all I've been playing, bro. I played a little bit of Apex the other night.
Who with? Hog?
With the mate from GTA.
Oh, okay.
At like 2:00 in the morning.
Fucking hell. You just
Yeah.
grind the fuck out of that game.
Yeah, bro.
I can't talk, man. I'm only been playing Tiny Tina's Wonderland, but even then, I'm only playing for like an hour, 2 hours, and I'm hopping off. Not
Yeah.
putting in big sessions. The other night, I played for like 3 hours, which was all right. But yeah, I'm not putting in the big sessions. I'd love to put in a big session of it. Everyone's like completing the main missions. Like, oh, the final boss is good. I'm like, I know I could already be up to the final boss, but I have too much fun doing side missions. I sort of go all side missions. Well, now when I hop back on, like my only mission I've got is the main mission. I'm like, okay, well, when I go back on,
Yeah.
I'll play that. All the side missions are funny as fuck. That's why they're too much fun.
I would love to get back into like grinding ranked at least once or twice a week, but
Yeah.
especially with like the way that I've been sucked into GTA RP at the moment, it's a bit hard to find the time.
The bloke I work with, he got masters last round. And he's just gotten split
Wow.
reset, so he's at platinum or diamond or whatever it is. And
Yeah,
trying to
so
grind his way
it's
back to
two-
masters again.
It's two below what you finish at, so it'll be plat.
He's already gone through that, so he's back at fucking diamond, I think already.
fucking hell.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
And I watched him last night or the night before or something like that, and he just lost he got done on the straight after the drop 3 times in a row. It's like, well, that's
see-
going good for you.
See, the problem is, especially with like that far into that far up the ranks, it's either you hot drop and try and get as much KP as you can and then go rat it, or you rat it the whole game.
Yeah.
They're the only two ways to play those that high of a rank. Once you
Yeah.
hit plat, that's the only way that you can play those types of games.
Well, I'm
So-
shit at it, so I'm never going to get to that stage.
Because
oh,
because of how far it's got to go to progress to get positive.
yeah.
So the more KP you get, the quicker you get to positive RP, and then
Yeah.
that's why a lot of people hot drop it.
Yeah, true. Well, this week's little topicy thing or story time is TV shows. We're going to just talk about our favorite shows, shows we're into at the moment, shows we're rewatching. You know, I don't even watch that many new shows. I tend to rewatch a lot of fucking shit.
Yeah.
But we'll do our top fives, talk about our shows. We're even going to do a top 5 overrated shows. So I personally, there's so many shows that I've tried to watch. People said, you could watch this. And I've watched and I've gone, this is boring or slow or not as interesting as everyone made it out to be. I'm not sure if with some of those shows, I'm not sure if it was the fact that when it was coming out, which made it interesting. There was just nothing else to watch. Or, you know, it wasn't Netflix to binge it sort of thing. Like maybe it's the fact that I'm binging it that makes it so boring. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, there's definitely shows that I find really overrated. That just, it was interesting, but at the same time, they're just not as good as everyone make it out to be. One of them's for me, is quite large. And I've watched it. I watched the whole thing, or most of it anyway. And I was like, I don't get why this was so popular. I didn't get it. I couldn't get it. I couldn't understand why it was so ridiculous, why everyone frothed over it so much. I'm like, I can see it, but at the same time, I can't. It's not as good as you're making it out to be. Maybe we'll start with that. Maybe we should start with overrated shows. Then we can go into the shows we really like. Let's start negative and finish positive. Let's do it like that. Instead of we tend to start positive and then finish negative with a little bit more positive. Let's just start negative, get the shit out the road. So we'll go.
Just flip it.
Sort of, not even top 5, just 5 overrated shows. I'll start. So for me at the moment, we've been trying to watch a show, me and the missus, that everyone says is good. Everyone says it's good. And so far, I'm like 3/4 of the way through season 2. Like, so fair way into it, really. Breaking Bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I don't understand why everyone said it was so fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't find it particularly that interesting. A lot of it's so for me personally, when we're talking about all this stuff, I am a little critiquey on stuff, and I watch some pretty shit shows on the same time. So I can't really have that much of an opinion, but it's sort of like everyone says, oh, it's amazing. It's such a good show. I'm like, fuck. It's sort of, they keep fucking it up or doing something wrong. And when people do that in a show, like sometimes when they try to purposely make it awkward or write it in an awkward way, I kind of don't like it at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big fan of awkward characters or repeating characters sort of thing. And sometimes that fucking does my head in. So we're struggling. Like, we're trying to watch it every night. And now it's sort of like, we haven't watched it in like a week because we just can't. We're watching other shit because it's just not there. For me, it's just not there. Yeah. You might think different.
I only got to the 3rd season. I put it down.
So I mean, you put it down. Like, it's not, for me personally, I can't fathom why everyone loved it so much. Oh, it's the best show ever. It's like, what, really? Where? Which gives, I think a lot of it's to do with the fact that people haven't done drugs and they think it's fucking fascinating. If you've done them, like, not that I've done crystal meth, but if you've been around it in real life, like, it's sort of not that.
Yeah.
Sort of just like, eh.
See, the funny thing is I put that down and I went back and started rewatching Vikings. Like, that's how much it disinterested me.
That's what we're going to do in the top 5 shows. I think TV shows are one of those things that once you found a show you like, you tend to watch it again. You give it a little bit. And this is, when we're doing TV shows today, I'm thinking we're going to do a little bit of like, I'm going to categorize animes in there as well, I think, too. Like, because we can always revisit this. Like I said, we're changing it up. We can always talk TV shows with another person. We can bring in a friend of ours or a guest or whatever it is and have them talk about their TV shows, and we can revisit and talk a little bit. So, you know, in 20 episodes time, maybe we will repeat ourselves a little bit, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Most of the podcasts you listen to, if you binge it, you'll start to see a repeating, thing happen.
I'm gonna have to agree with you with like number 5 because due to the simple factors, as I said, I got to season 3 and I put it down. I was like,
we started watching other shit. Mrs.
I
is
was like,
watching Turkish
nah.
Survivor, which is just fucking trash. But for some reason, we can put that on when we eat dinner, and it's, it just passes time. We'd rather just pass time watching shit like that than sit down and actually try to watch Breaking Bad. And it's like, because you sort of have to really watch it. And then even if you do really watch it, you sort of don't get all the good bits too. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
So I'm gonna jump in and do my 5 and 4. So I've done my 5 and now I'll do my number 4. My number 4 would have to be Lost.
Never watched it. I
watched
know it was on at the same
first couple
time.
episodes and I was like, nah, not for
So
me.
back when it was coming out, I know people were watching it all the time, but you've got to think that was on. So Australia's going to got like back in the day when it was TV, Australia had like 5 channels. Lost used to come on channel 7, which is one of the big channels. So there's 3 big channels, 10, 9, 7. Weirdly enough, that's literally, they're just called numbers. But back then I was watching 10 at like 6 o'clock to watch The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And then I was watching SBS, which is the sort of like the national broadcasting thing, but it's like the international version sort of thing. So you get a lot of like foreign shows. They're now branched off where they do indigenous shows and then foreign shows. So you get all your foreign movies on there. A lot of subtitle shows. But I was watching like South Park, Mythbusters, Top Gear, stuff like that. Like that was way more interesting to me than anything else. Top Gear. What are the other shows on there? Even like on a Thursday night, this is going to sound random as fuck. On a Thursday night, I actually used to watch a German show. German show? Maybe it's not. Called Inspector Rex. Did you ever watch that?
No.
It's essentially a cop show, but it's based on like a German shepherd called Inspector Rex, and he used to come in and save the day, and it's all in subtitles. Loved it. I thought that show was fucking awesome. Better than fucking Lost.
But yeah, that's my number 4.
The only reason I wanted to watch,
so overrated.
I only want to watch Lost because Mary's in it from Lord of the Rings. Mary or was it Pippin? Mary. It's Mary.
Mary, yeah.
Number 4, Family Guy. A lot of people loved it. For me, it was sort of ruined because I wasn't watching it at the time, and then a lot of people at school, say when I was at school, they were just quoting it constantly, and it's sort of like, well. And this is before little clips come on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. It was back before social media was as giant it is now. It's sort of like I'd watch it and I'm like, I don't get why this is so funny. Like I love South Park, which is super fucking edgy. And then I love Simpsons, which was a bit more family friendly, but it was all super original because Matt Groening was just ahead of it. And then Futurama as well, which is another Matt Groening fucking show. So I found Family Guy was in between. It wasn't quite South Park and it wasn't quite Simpsons. It was just a little in between. I hate repeating comedy, which is Peter Griffin.
Repetitive jokes.
Which is like
repetitive
Peter
jokes,
Griffin, fucking Quagmire and stuff like that. So the characters I thought were funny in Family Guys, which was pretty much 2, which was Brian and Stewie. And if it wasn't a Brian or Stewie episode, it was shit to me. I was like, those cunts aren't in it. They're the funny ones. The rest of them aren't that fucking funny. And that's not to say that I don't find Seth MacFarlane funny, though. I find he's funny. I just find his shows he writes not as funny. That makes sense? You listen to him talk and stuff like that, I find him hilarious and very interesting. But his shows I find a little bit bland.
Yeah.
Number 3.
I'd have to go Friends.
Oh, I like Friends.
Unfortunately, I would have to go Friends. Like, I just never really like it was during when I was really young as well, so I never really got into it. But it was never really that type of show that pulled me in. You know what I mean? Like at that time,
keep going.
At that point in like me watching Friends, The Inbetweeners was out.
Yeah, Inbetweeners is a good show. Quality show.
It was either the Friends or the Inbetweeners, and like I was in that age bracket of the Inbetweeners.
So even like the Inbetweeners had a little bit too much awkwardness in it for me to properly enjoy it. So I really enjoyed the movies way more than the fucking show. Which is contradictory because everyone loves the show, and don't get me wrong, I loved the show, but it's not. Yeah, it wasn't that drag in as say the movies got. But quality, cool. I mean, I like Friends. I like Joey Tribbiani and Chandler, stuff like that. There and Phoebe. Like, see this when it's like only 6 characters, when more than half the cast is funny and have good lines, you're always going to have a good episode. Yeah, Ross has his moments, but Ross is kind of annoying. And so is Monica. But I think that's the whole point. They're meant to sort of make the other characters a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I get that. I 100% get
Yeah.
that. Fuck, I'm starting to run out of shows to rag on. I know what my number 1 is, so I don't want to use that one yet. A lot of people liked Prison Break. I thought it was shit. So my number 3 is gonna be Prison Break. A lot of people loved that show.
I didn't mind it.
I thought it was Poopy. Poopy. Oh, very Poopy. I don't know. I thought it was a bit. I don't know. It just didn't get me going. I don't know if it's just the prison setting that didn't do it for me or something. I'm not.
Yeah.
Wasn't me. Oh, I know what my number 2 is. I've already got my 2 and 1.
Yeah.
And it's super controversial. That is super controversial. That people love these shows, and I'm fucking about to shit on them.
I got my number 2.
We'll go your number 2.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, trash. Agreed.
Yeah.
The thing is, I fucking love a doctor's show. I love a doctor's show because one of my top 5 shows is the doctor's show. Like, I love a doctor's show, and like we find other shows to watch, like Chicago Med and fucking Chicago Med's fucking banging. Have you watched New Amsterdam?
Nah.
Good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Give it a go. Like, me and the missus love a good fucking medical show.
The Night Shift. You seen that?
No.
Oh,
Is that with Loki in it?
Amazing.
No, it's the Night Manager. Sorry, I'm thinking of a different one.
Yeah, the Night Manager. The Night Shift is fucking an ER show, but yeah,
also
it's like,
on the Chicago Med thing, Chicago Fire is a fire fucking show. Fucking love that show, cunt.
Yeah.
Good show.
Yeah.
My number 2, The Office.
Oh.
Cunts love that show, and Michael Scott is the world's worst character. It's too much awkward. Like I said, I don't like awkward. So for me, I like The Office in highlight form. Get their funniest bits with Jim and Dwight. Great. I can watch that all fucking day. You put in any other character, I'm over it, bro. I can't handle it. It's just not funny. Oh, and what's that fucking weird dude's name?
Kevin?
No, the real weird dude. He's a proper spaced cunt. He's always doing drugs and shit like that. He's put tomato sauce in your show, but it's actually blood for some reason. His famous line is, cults are strange. Being a cult leader is really good because you make a lot of money, but you have more fun as a cult member.
Oh, yeah. Fucking.
I can't think of his fucking name. He's funny too.
Old guy. Yeah.
But see, he's not enough in the show. He's got like a little minute part every episode. So watching a highlight reel of him is fucking great. 2 seconds. Fun. I can't think of his name, but you know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
Everyone in the comments is going to fucking lose their mind.
Yeah.
But so I find Jim funny and Dwight has his moments, but I think that's because they're 2 really good actors. I've never found Steve Carell funny, ever. I don't think there's been a funny moment. Like, even
Creed.
Creed.
Yeah,
that's it. Creed.
Yeah.
Even like in Anchorman, I thought his character, he had like a couple of moments, but like his character's not that fun. We can do that on the movies section too. That's going to be my top 5 overrated movies is Anchorman as well. I don't find Will Ferrell funny. He's funny in interviews, but he's not funny in movies. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like that. Some people are just so charismatic that they're awesome. But once you put them in a movie, you put them in a role, they sort of lose a little bit who they are. Yeah. And that's sort of something that annoys me. Like, Mark Wahlberg in person is exactly the same as what he is in movies. And that's why I think he's funny in a lot of things. He can actually be funny. But Will Ferrell, like, they end up controlling who he needs to be a bit too much. It's like, if you just let him be him, he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my opinion. So number 1.
Number 1, there might be a lot of people that'll say that, you got fucking trash taste and shit, but Seinfeld.
No, Oh, why was that not in my top 5? I fucking despise that show. Not
Seinfeld, bro.
It's-
Like, come on.
again, it's certain characters that just completely ruin it. For me, like,
Yeah.
I am shit like that. Like, if it's a kids TV show, I can't stand kids. So you could easily put in my top 5 instead of Prison Break. My top 5 is actually gonna have Stranger Things in it. I think that was trash. I didn't understand it. Too
Yeah.
many kids, bro. I fucking hate kid acting.
Yeah.
There's only 1 or 2 movies where kids work, and that's like Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. Apart from that, kids don't work. And any movie with Dakota Fanning, she's pretty fucking good kid actor. But like, yeah, no, Seinfeld's Jerry Seinfeld by himself, funny.
Oh, yeah.
Kramer, funny.
Funny. Yeah.
He's not funny. And George Costanza is not funny. He's just awkward.
Nah.
He's just strange.
Yeah.
He doesn't, he cringe when he tries to say something. People love cringe fucking humor. I'm not a cringe humor fan. I
Nah.
can't stand it. It took me
Nah.
so long to even get into Big Bang Theory because of how cringy it was. But
Yeah.
I ended up loving it in the end because
It sort of grew on you, eh?
it grows on you. But the only reason it grows on you is because Sheldon's such a well-written character.
But
He
it's
is cringe.
not just
It's
not
not
just
because
that.
he's
There's
cringe.
a lot of backstory between all the characters as well that you
Yeah.
don't realize.
Yeah.
And you can understand why it's so like why it began so cringe in that. That's the type of people that they are.
Yeah, and
And
I grew
like-
on it. It grew on me very
Yeah.
hard. And I actually really liked it. I even watched the other show, Young Sheldon. I don't know if you watched that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
oddly funnier than Big Bang Theory, but people won't
Yeah.
say that. I just like Texan humor. They did a lot of Texan humor in it. It's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like there's another show called The Ranch, which is
Yes,
based in like
I fucking love it.
I loved
old
it up
Aston Kutcher.
to I loved it up to the fire. After the fire, it's shit. Once Hyde not Hyde. What's his name? Rooster.
Yeah.
Once Rooster goes, it's
Rooster.
not funny anymore. It's no good anymore. The show's shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah.
My number 1 is super controversial. You're gonna hate me for this. I'm
Yeah.
sure you like it. Game of Thrones, I think, is very overrated. Judging by that sheepish look, I'm gonna say you love it. And don't get me wrong, there is character arcs in that are fucking awesome. The way it jumps from fucking episodes for ages before a character comes back in pisses me off. When a good character comes on, they kill it and leave the worst characters that no cunt likes. I don't get it. Like, where's the writing in this? Like, do you really think that everyone likes those characters? Kill those cunts off. The head
Yeah,
Lannister fella. The best bit was when the dwarf kills
Tywin.
Tywin Lannister. That's good.
When Tyrion kills his dad on the
It's
shitter.
like, great, fantastic.
Yeah.
Finally, we got rid of that shit character. But that I can't think of her name. The bitch, the lady,
Cersei.
the worst character
Cersei.
ever.
No.
They called
Nah.
Joffrey. That was cool.
Joffrey.
What do you
Joffrey.
Joffrey
Yeah.
Archer. Joffrey, they kill him off. But in saying that though, he's a tyrannical cunt, but he was good. I think
He was good at
she's-
being a.
She's
yeah.
annoying. She's not even a fun character. She's a shit character that has the odd little powerful moment was not that good. I wanted to see more of Sir Bronn.
Yep.
I wanted to see more of the Hound. I liked what's the little bitch's name? Little Stark.
Arya.
Arya. I liked her.
yes.
Her arc was kind of cool. But then she'd come
They
in.
Sort of killed her arc.
The first episode of that season, it's like, oh, cool. This is going to be all about Arya. And then 5 episodes later, you see her again. It's like, why?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting through these hour-long episodes for what? 2 seconds of a character I like? Heaps of like political bitching that doesn't matter in the end because they just end up dying.
Okay, so
There's good
I've got to
moments.
admit-
There's good moments. Everyone says it's a 10. I'm saying it's a 7. That's what I'm saying. It's overrated. It's overrated because everyone said it was the best show ever. And it's not. It's not. It's flawed in a lot of ways.
I got to admit, like, I'll agree with your 7 as a whole, as a series. But if we were just judging from season 1 to season 6, that's 10 out of 10 for me. Season 1 to season 6,
I watched the first
they
5 seasons.
fucked it.
I watched
They
the first 5
fucked it.
seasons and then I got bored of it.
They fucked it with the last 2 seasons. It was just, season 8 was the worst. The worst way to finish.
I think that's what it was.
show.
I watched it late and then I found out the last season was shit. And I was like, well, there's no point in me watching anymore.
There's no point. Yeah. But like,
It
I'll
just-
go
it-
back and I'll watch season 1 to season 6 and leave 7 and 8.
I haven't
out.
even touched it again, bro. I haven't even wanted to touch it again. Like it's just one of those shows that I just don't. I understand, and the thing is, if you know anything about me as the beard from the podcast, from my streams, anything like that, you know that I love that fantasy genre. I fucking froth that shit. Game of Thrones should have been way up my alley. It just wasn't. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
It just fell short in a few ways. Some of the characters that had too many characters is one thing. You question a show that has too many. It's too many arcs. Too many cunts going around that are just dying. This and you start to get to know them. It's like, well, this is an anime that was a filler. Those whole sets of episodes were filler episodes because it led to nothing with the main storyline.
Yeah.
That's what I hate is the entire fucking show could be reduced down to one season because the rest of it's filler. It is. It's just a
yes
filler
and
show. It's a
no.
filler show because cunts just die.
But see, that's like them saying like, oh, Ed Stark died for no reason. No, he died to start the war.
Did
Like,
he? I can't remember.
So he died final episode of the first season, right? He died to start the war. The war of
Understand.
the North coming and trying to invade and trying to take over because of the simple fact that they killed the dad. All they were doing was coming down to bring back Lord Eddard Stark.
Yep. So
Guess
what about
There's an
Sansa
army
Stark?
moving. We're just gonna kill him instead.
Did everyone
Well,
think that
you
Sansa
just
Stark was
fucked
kind
the
of
North.
boring?
Yeah, she didn't deserve.
Okay,
she
okay.
did not deserve the ending she got.
I enjoyed Jon Snow. I enjoyed Sir Bronn. I enjoyed Tywin. Is that his name? What's the dwarf's name?
Tyrion.
Tyrion. I enjoyed the Hound, and I
Mhm.
loved the idea of the mountain.
Yep.
But everything from there, like, just and Arya, I like the Arya, but apart from that, I just feel a lot of character. Oh, Daenerys was awesome. Don't get me wrong, I like Daenerys too. Sorry.
She went
But-
mad. Let's just say that.
That's what I'm trying to get at is like, I understand it's a fantastic show and can't love it. But for me, it just never grabbed. Someone coming from the outside, like everyone else
Yep.
has loved it already. I'm going to start watching it. I couldn't understand the hype.
That's completely understandable.
That's what I'm trying
Like,
to say before at the start. It's like, I'm not sure if it was because it was coming out week by week and everyone was talking about it was what made it more interesting. The fact that I sat back and
Yeah.
binged it later on, did I go boring?
Yeah.
I was forcing myself. I was forcing myself to watch episodes sometimes, hoping
See, the
that
whole
one character
problem-
would be in it.
The whole problem with especially the last 2 seasons, you had to wait nearly 2 years between season 7 and season 8.
Yeah.
And season 8 was a massive letdown. The end of the whole series was just a massive letdown, which turned a lot of people off of it and went, we waited nearly 2 years for this shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Did
just
it-
fuck those last 2 seasons off simple and just 1 to 6. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my overrated opinion.
No, that's everyone's got their
Now.
opinions.
Now let's start talking about some banging shows.
Let's see. They'll be banging for you. Some will be banging for me. Some we might just disagree with.
Well,
but
that's all right.
That's what
And,
this is about.
I think we should elaborate more when we do our top fives and stuff here. It's sort of like,
Yeah.
I love cartoons, and it's going to be hard for me to pick a top 5. It's nearly going to be easy for me just to do a top 10, and don't even do them in order. Just do 10 shows that we love. Possibly, instead of doing a top 5, do a top 10 because there's so many shows I can list that I just fucking love. And instead of going into how we started watching them and stuff like that, I think we can elaborate that as we talk along. So I think we're going to just, we're doing this on the fly a little bit. I think we just do 10 shows that we love and why we love them. And we'll just go from there. And that will probably take up another half an hour and then a podcast will be done.
Right, yeah.
So I think we usually do top 5s. Today we're doing a top 10 because I know there's 10 shows we fucking watched. Even if we haven't watched them in years, there's gonna be a show that we watched back in the day that was just so fucking awesome and holds a good memory that you're gonna have to. So we'll just go. We don't even have to list them. We can do a list, but we'll just go 10. I'll start this time. 10. I'm gonna do Top Gear. We talked about it before. I fucking loved Top Gear, cunt. Not the Australian Top Gear. Not after that. I mean, Jeremy Clarkson, James May,
James May and
Hammond.
Richard Hammond.
Richard Hammond.
Yeah. Yeah.
Banging. I didn't even
The
like
original
Cars.
story.
I don't like Cars that much, but I loved that show. I loved the way they
Yeah.
talked, loved the shit they got up to. I watched it religiously every week.
Yep.
Was it Monday? It aired in
Yeah.
Australia. Monday night,
Mhm.
like it was
Monday
7:30
night,
to 8:30. Then 8:30 till
Yeah.
9:30 was South Park.
Yep.
No, it might have been 7 till 8 with Mythbusters, 8 till 9 was Top Gear, 9 till 9:30 was South Park. Like that's how we got
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, Top Gear was just so good. I fucking love that show.
Mhm.
I've gone back and watched episodes when they just appear. They
Yeah.
appear on YouTube or something. I was like, I'm gonna go back and watch that, just that entire episode.
Like a clip will pop up on my fucking Instagram feed or something. I'm like, I fucking remember that.
And you
I'll
just
go back and I'll watch it.
pissing
It's
yourself
just like,
laughing. You're just like,
yes.
how did they get away with that shit? Some of the shit they
Yeah.
did was like, you shouldn't have gotten away with that. Fuck me. You can't say that now.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff was quite fucking rough.
Yeah.
Quite fucking rough. What was your number 10 then, Big Horse?
I always go back and watch this. I don't know why. Like, I'm just gonna go number 10. Like my top 10 will be either nostalgic or shows that I go back and watch all the time. Because if I go
Yeah.
back and watch them all the time, I must
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, of course.
It's gonna have to be How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, banging.
I
Well,
fucking
I'll
love
merge
it.
that. I'll merge that into my 9. Like, we're just doing. They don't have to be in order. We're just doing just top shows we like, just 10 of them. So, How You Met Your Mother. Yeah, I fucking love that show. Cunt. That's my number
Yeah.
9. No, my number 9
The whole-
that is 10.
The whole chemistry between the 5 of them was just unreal to watch.
This is
And
what
the
I'm trying to
simple
get at
fact
with
that,
Game
like-
of Thrones. Game of Thrones had too many characters. 5, 6 is plenty. You don't need more characters. A couple of little sub characters. You don't need more than that. They had too many leads in Game of Thrones. Like,
Yeah.
I understand this is a sitcom or whatever the fuck you call. No, was it a sitcom? Yeah, whatever it is.
What is How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah,
Yeah, sitcom. It's all
Yeah.
sit rom-com type thing, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
sitcom.
but like, it's so well done. Like, a lot of people will hate on How I Met Your Mother too. They're like, oh no. I watched it back in the day. Then I went back when I was on Netflix and watched the entire thing again. I was like, that show is fucking brilliant. I fucking love that. The last season is
there's a
pretty
reason
garbage,
why I
actually.
love it.
Meeting the mother was a bit shit in the end.
Mhm. But
because
just the chemistry between the 5 of them, and like you got Ted and Marshall, the best mates from college, moved in together with
Yeah.
Lily. Like there was them, and then fucking Barney Stinson, bro. Like
yeah, it's
you cannot
relatable.
quote-
That's the thing.
if you cannot quote a Barney Stinson fucking quote, like get the fuck out of here. Like,
Legend.
the
wait
amount
for
of
it, dairy.
dairy, or like I can't do that. That goes against the bro code. Like
Yeah,
the bro code,
I've got
or the playbook.
I've got
His
Barney Stinson's playbook. I've actually got that book.
Yeah.
Weirdly
And
enough, I
just
have
the
that book.
This is shit. And to think, Barney Stinson's played by a homosexual.
Yeah, he does such a good job. He
Oh,
does.
it's-
It shows the
Neil
showman in
Patrick
him.
Harris is
yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris is just unreal for what he did, and like he brought that sort of edgy comedy. It wasn't
Yeah.
completely edgy, but it was just teetering on that bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and some people thought that show was ruined by, say, like Ted, and like I can understand, but at the same time, Ted had his moments too.
Yeah.
Like it's
But
just
yeah,
like I said
he's
with
the
Friends, it's the
gullible
same thing.
nonce.
You sort of have that one character that's not meant to be super funny or super perfect, but like Marshall made up for it. Marshall was fucking hilarious.
yeah,
Marshall's fucking good. Marshall was my favorite
Oh,
character.
yes, I loved Marshall.
Lily's funny, but she's banging as well. I find Alison
Mm.
Hannigan fucking attractive.
So that's my number 10. Well, that's one of my 10.
And that's
You've
my
done
number
2.
9. I'll do number. That's my number
Done
9.
2. So
Sorry.
my number 9, it would have to be like a recent show that I've actually gotten really into, and it's The Last Kingdom
Okay, I've never watched
on
it.
Netflix. It is absolutely banging. Have you watched Vikings?
No.
Oh, bro.
Sorry,
Okay.
man.
So it's like Vikings. So
Yeah.
it's that gory type of thing. It's about an alderman. His name's Uhtred. His brother dies. His
Yeah.
name wasn't originally Uhtred. What happens is the heir to Bebenberg, his name is his father's name, so he's
Yeah.
Uhtred, son of Uhtred. His
Yeah.
older brother dies, so he becomes Uhtred.
Yeah.
He gets taken as a slave from Saxon. He becomes a Dane slave and
Yeah.
grows up as a Dane, so as a Viking in this sort of it's not Dane occupied, but like they've got their own little settlements around England,
Yeah.
and they're like the Danes are fighting the Danes, but they're also fighting the Saxons, and Uhtred's getting split between like the family he grew up with, the Danes, and like all that, or the family he's supposed to be with, the Saxons. He's
Yeah.
getting like doesn't know which way to go, and people say, "Oh, he's a traitor to the Saxons because he's helping the Danes." But then you realize that he's actually helping himself become a better person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be helping the Danes now, but 2 episodes later, he might see the Danes are fucking up, doing something wrong. So he's going to go, no, fuck you. I don't want to go down this path. I'm going to go my own path, and finds the Saxons and helps the Saxons out until they go off onto the wrong path. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah. And like he gets fucked over from both sides throughout. And
That's interesting. I have to give it a watch, I guess. Maybe I need to watch Vikings first, sort of get into that realm.
Yeah, yes and no, because it's completely different universe.
Yeah.
But it's a completely different universe, completely like everything's completely different. It's just, yes, it's fucking awesome. I love those types of shows.
Yeah. Well,
So-
you might like my next show.
Yeah.
Number 8. I'm gonna do Spartacus. Season 1, season 2. Season 1, season 2.
Yes.
Third season, once old mate passes away from cancer, it's not so fucking crash hot anymore.
So
but season 1, season 2,
season
is
1
fucking banging.
Spartacus and Spartacus Gods of the Arena.
Yeah, and then the other one's Spartacus Blood of the
Blood and Sand. And
Yeah,
then there's
so-
Spartacus Vengeance.
So like Blood and Sands is like the prelogue for the first season. So season 2 is
No.
actually the prelogue for season 1.
No, season 2, which is Gods of the Arena, is
Yeah.
Gannicus,
Yeah.
which is before what's his name? Whatever Dominus's name is.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he gets that
Yeah, so
the big
sorry.
gladiator
So
skill.
there's like season 1 and then like season 2 is the prelogue, and then season 3 is like actually the follow on from
Straight
season
after,
1 or
yeah.
So yeah, but like that show is fucking awesome. I fucking love that
Oh.
show. It's all done by the
Yes.
produce, like by the film editors of like 300 and stuff like that. It's just a banging
was a-
show. I fucking loved it. I thought
It was a New
Vengeance,
Zealand show.
Vengeance was a bit bland. Can't say. So like for me, like you can actually finish it at season 3 and not worry about Vengeance. You could actually finish it there and not worry about Vengeance, because when they breach out and they run away, like you can actually finish it there and it's fine. The storyline doesn't have to continue from there, because the storyline continue from there was always going to be hard to write anyway. They did it pretty much for
Yeah.
a money grab. It was always going to be hard to
Mhm.
write. It was never going to be able to write it and make it good. So up to that point there, what a fucking show. I love that show.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a while, but I think I'm going to have to go back and watch it. It's fucking good. So
I've got all of them. I've got all of them.
Oh,
on
really?
DVD.
Oh,
Yeah.
saucy.
So
Your
you got
mate.
Blood and Sand. Blood and
Yeah.
Sand's number 1.
Yeah,
Spartacus Blood and Sand, number 1.
which has got Spartacus.
Which is Spartacus, how Spartacus
Yeah,
became
yeah.
Spartacus. Then you got Gods of the Arena, which is Gannicus, which is the 2 swords.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah. Then you got War of the Damned.
Which one's that
It's the
one?
last one, I'm pretty sure. War of the Damned is the last one. Vengeance is the 3rd one.
Maybe I've only watched season 1, season 2. I think they're the only ones I
Yeah.
like. I think after that, I'm not a big fan after that. I can't, when
Yeah.
they escape sort of thing, I'm sort of like, yeah. Because they changed
Yeah.
the Spartacus actor, and like I understand they had to, but he was what made it. The person they replaced him just wasn't it. Like
Andy
it's-
Whitfield, yeah.
it's no offense to that person. Like they're probably a really, really good actor. It's just some actors did that role so perfectly. Like if you actually wanted to go back to say like the Harry Potter series, the first 2 films has a different Dumbledore, and that original Dumbledore is perfect. He's perfect.
Yeah.
He's exactly what Dumbledore needs to be. The next guy is a bit too animated, And like, that's not
Mhm.
Dumbledore. That's not how he reads. That's no. The first one had it. You need to settle down. Like some actors just do different roles differently. And he was so much more, Spartacus was so much more cool, calm, reserved, but had that inner anger in him. And the other fellow was a bit too eccentric for me as well.
Yeah.
It's like, no, can't. You're overacting it. Don't.
Yeah.
Spartacus is not meant to be that. He's meant to be pretty cool and reserved and
Yep.
know exactly what he was meant to be doing.
Mm-hmm. And one bloke that does it for me in that show is Manu Bennett, which is Crixus.
Yeah, Crixus.
His whole arc in that that series where he's like, I'm the fucking champion, rah rah rah.
And then he loses it.
know,
Yeah.
He loses it to Spartacus because Crixus is nearly dead, and then he wants to kill Spartacus to become champion again.
Yeah, and
then
he
realize
that
that
slave and stuff like that.
Yeah, Navia.
Yeah,
and then realizes that like Navia gets sent away because Crixus and her are fucking having this forbidden love, and then actually sees what Spartacus is trying to do, and is like, yeah, he's actually fucking doing something to help us, and just becomes he's a total badass throughout the whole fucking TV show, but he's just one of the.
What's his name? Is it Baracus or something like that?
Who's that?
I think he's gay, and his boyfriend gets killed.
Yeah,
I can't think of his name. He's a big fucking Mary cunt. I can't think of his fucking name. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't think of his name. He was fucking boss too. The whole show's boss, man. Even like the
Doctore.
The Doctore. Yeah. You see him in other movies too, and it's like, yes.
But like God of the Arenas is like, that was a good like prequel season.
Yeah, it was good. It was perfect.
Doctore became Doctore.
Yeah, and how they went from being a small house, Bathiatus came from a small house to become a big house.
Yeah. How fucking like Doctore came from Animaeus to being Doctore.
Yeah.
And then like Doctore goes off because they're all like all the slaves leave and shit, and he was one of the ones that stayed at the house of Batiatus.
Yeah.
And then left, and everyone's looking for Doctore, but he doesn't go by Doctore anymore. He's going by Animaeus because he's lost the Doctore role. And that's a good shoot. I'll tell you that right now. I love that show.
Fight's in there.
That's mine. That's mine.
Oh, it's in your number 8 as well.
7. That's my number 8.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, fuck. Now I've got to think of number 7, cunt. These are in no particular order because I don't know what's my favorite. I'm not sure because it's so hard.
I'm gonna put my favorite up the top. I'm gonna put my favorite up the top. Simple as that. I know what.
Maybe I'll put my favorite at the top. Then I'll leave that one right to the end. So I'm just gonna throw in there South Park.
Mm-hmm.
My number 7 is South Park. I fucking love that show. I admit the last 5 seasons have been a bit, but like season 1 to 15 or whatever, fucking great. So good. So like in the moment and so rip on and just literally anything and everything. Like you can't, people can try to be offended by it, but you can't. Like they rip on everyone. They rip on every religion. They rip on every person. They don't give a shit. They know it's funny because they're written by Jews. Like, and they rip on Jewish people constantly.
All the
first
time.
episode, stop being a fucking Jew. Like, like they are just, that show is just so edgy and hard hitting that it's just fucking fantastic. Your number 7, Mike Pius.
My number 7, right? Would have to be fuck. Now
it's hard.
I had a little while to think of these, but
it's not that. It's
staying at the top.
You're thinking to yourself like, what order should I put it in? Don't worry about the order. That's what I'm trying to say. This. Don't worry about it. We just want 10 good shows.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, banging show.
Absolutely love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Andy Samberg is a fucking genius in that show. Like,
I love that show, but I'm putting that a little later on.
No, you can't. We're no particular order.
Oh, I'm no particular. Okay, if we're not doing no particular order, what's that, number 7? My number 6 is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I was going to say Brooklyn Nine-Nine to number 1. No particular order, then we'll just add it in. That is the one show I've watched like seven,
Yes.
8 times. I've watched it a million times,
Yes.
bro. I fucking in saying that there is a recent season I haven't watched yet still. I
Mhm.
don't know why I haven't watched it. I just before I was really going on my way to watch it, and I think I was watching another show at the time, and I sort of just never got the chance because it was coming out. We was like, oh, I'll wait for the whole season to come out. It still hasn't come out
Yeah.
yet, and I'm like, well, I'll just wait. So I haven't seen the season after they've had the kid. I haven't seen the
Yeah,
season where
right.
they got. I've seen the season when she's going to have the
She's
baby,
pregnant,
and then
yeah.
that's it. I haven't seen after that.
Yeah, neither have I. I'm up to the newest season.
Yeah, which is like season 9 or something, or season 8 maybe.
It's the last season as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it had to end at some time. It was meant to end at season 5. Thank fuck for that.
Yeah.
Because that's the weird thing. They're ending at season 5, and like season 5's a fucking awesome season. Like I don't understand. Season 6 is really good too. Season 7, for me, season 7 starts to come back down the bell curve a little bit.
Yeah.
They're trying too hard. I think a few of the jokes are sort of starting to repeat themselves. But fucking love the show. I love it so much. It's such a fucking good show. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Every time a new season would come out, I'd watch everything back up to it again. So I've watched like season 1 fucking like 15 times, season 2 like 14 times, I've just watched it so many times.
Oh,
it's such a fucking good show.
Smart.
Voice.
Noise. Okay. So that's what?
6.
My number 7,
That
your
was,
number 6?
yeah, my number 6.
My number 6, Sons of Anarchy.
Never watched it.
Never watched it?
No,
I
I've been told to watch it. I've been
absolutely
told to watch it a
love it.
few times, and I just never gotten around to it. I don't know. It's one of those things that, like, I understand there's like awesome shows and stuff like that, but I think this is the premise of it being a biker show. It's sort of like, yeah, it hasn't gripped me. It's not sort of like a world that I'm interested in that much.
Yeah. It didn't grip me. Like I was like, nah, I'm not gonna watch that. And then I actually sat down with the missus, and she was like 2 or 3 episodes into the first season.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like it's 2 or 3 episodes into the first season. Like they haven't gotten into the good stuff yet.
Yeah, right.
Further on, there's some good stuff, but I was like, what the fuck is this? She's like, this is Sons of Anarchy. Go watch the first 2 episodes if you like these ones. I'm like, righto. Oh my god.
Loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to watch it.
I
I think it's a show I'd probably enjoy. I just never fucking gotten around to it.
Yeah.
I've been told by multiple people to watch it.
Yeah. It's a good show. Ending's controversial. Like the ending, it's got every show like that, no matter what show it is, it's always got to end some way or another.
Yeah, and sometimes the ending is always a bit
Sons of Anarchy. It's not poor. It was just, you could say poorly written.
Yeah, uneventful maybe.
Yeah, but you can understand why it ended that way, especially with what happened throughout. Like you could understand why it got to the way it did.
Yeah.
Radio number 5.
Number 5, The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking love that show. Actually, I think with the way it's going, I don't think I'm going to do any animes. Actually, I think I'm just going to just stick to cartoons and TV shows. I just realized that I could do a whole thing on anime. We've already
we could do a whole thing of animes, like whole.
We'll do an anime episode another time. Yeah, Simpsons, bro. I fucking grew up on that shit. I still quote Simpsons every fucking day. Like, for me, it's the most quotable show. Like, me and my mates used to talk about it at school all the time. We used to quote it all the time. We still quote it now. Like, me and one of my best mates, like, we just fucking, that's all we essentially talk to each other just in Simpsons quotes. Memes and Simpsons quotes. Like, the only pages I follow on fucking Facebook are like Simpsons-based cricket memes, where it's like it's a meme about cricket, but it's all to do with like Simpsons jokes, or like Simpsons Saiyan posting, which is like Dragon Ball Z jokes. Dragon Ball Z, but with Simpsons jokes thrown in it. Like, just shit like that, man. I fucking love that crap, eh? Just meme posting where they just change everything to make it like a Simpsons theme, and it's fucking hilarious. I love it. I love Simpsons, bro. That's my first show that I loved. I still love it now. I can still go back and easily watch any episode and just piss myself laughing. I love it. What a show.
Mm-hmm.
I know you probably don't like it. I don't know, but I think it's fantastic.
I never really got into The Simpsons, but
maybe it's an age thing. Maybe when I was watching it, it was perfectly on like season 4, season 5 sort of thing, which is like where it really starts to ramp up. But like, if you want to watch a really good season of Simpsons, season 4, 5, 6 are really good. Even season 3 is really good, but season 4, 5, 6 are just perfect.
Yeah.
Every episode's fucking hilarious, fucking funny. Like, and it's just so well written at that stage too. There's no like repeat things. All the jokes aren't like things that they keep saying over and over again. I keep doing over and over again. They're just, it's witty, catchy, edgy. Go. Yeah, Simpsons for me is just the fucking best. What's your number 5, Big Horse?
Like, it's not a chick show, but it's a show about chicks, and it's not Orange is the New Black. I'll tell you that right now. It's something a lot more gruesome.
Watched it.
A lot more gruesome because it's Australian. It's Wentworth.
I never watched it.
It's about an Australian women's prison.
Okay.
And there's some fucking brutal scenes in it, eh? Oh, you would not expect stuff like that to happen. But like, there's this one chick, she comes in, she's accused of, forgot what she's accused of.
Talking too much.
She's accused of murder of her husband. She's attempted murder or something like that. And she awaits this trial for attempted murder. And so everyone's like, oh, stay away from her. She's a murderer and shit. So she becomes this loner, but then she starts progressing through the ranks of the prison, starts becoming like head honcho of the prison and shit.
Yeah, yep.
And gets this like little crew behind her. And it is brutal.
As a rule, I'm not a big fan of Australian shows because I think a lot of the people that are still in Australian TV are like actors that couldn't make it in the big time.
Yeah.
And there's such a small pool of good actors in Australia that like they repeat a lot. They seem to be in a lot. Like mum and dad really love Australian shows and movies and like, oh, you gotta watch this. I'm like, it's the same cunts as the last show. You know, all the same fucking characters from fucking McLeod's Daughters in there. Like, not interested. Oh, that's Underbelly done again. Like, oh no, you gotta watch it. It's really good. So I'm not sure who's in Wentworth, but it might be a really good show.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
not bad. Like
Ashley Keita is in there somewhere. Whatever her name is. She's in everything. Fuck.
I don't know who you're talking about, but like it's fucking brutal. Like there's
there's an Australian show called Offspring. She's the main character from that. She tends to be in a lot of fucking things.
No. But like there's this one scene where she grabs Sheila's hands and they're in like the laundry room of the prison. And you know your big like your clothes presses that you push down and it's like a big flat iron. She puts her hands in there and just jams them in jams the top down and just burns her fucking hands, bro.
Oh, I could get into this.
Got on her wrong side. What's this? You looking at Wentworth?
I could because they're all different Australian actors.
Yeah,
they're not Australian actors we've seen before. That's all right. I can do that.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that they have a lot of Australian TV shows and movies have the same fucking actors in it.
Yeah.
This is all
See
different
the Sheila
ones.
with the tat? See the Sheila with the tats?
Yeah.
That's Frankie. She's a fucking beast.
She's a bit of a sort too.
She's a beast, bro. But Red.
And when I say she's a bit of a sort, she's a bit of an Australian sort. It's an Australian tasted sort, that one. It's not, other people around the world probably don't think the same thing.
But Red or B, she's fucking mental. She becomes mental, bro.
Have to give it a look, I guess.
It's a good show.
Number 4. Archer.
Not for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
honestly.
My missus loves it. My missus loves it.
Get your missus in here. Fuck, that's so. Really? Have you given it a good go?
Give it a little bit of a go.
I know you as a bloke. That's why I'm saying, have you given it a good go? Because like a lot of the things we are saying, like thing like that. I said Archer, thinking you're gonna go, oh, what a show! Like, Archer's fucking funny. Even the shows, even when they go away from the original, like. They do like Danger Island and stuff like that, where they're like, there's the same characters, but they're playing different people.
Yeah.
Like, man, that show is one of my faves, cunt. I've watched that fucking tons of times. That show's fucking awesome. Awesome. Sterling Art, every character in there, for me personally, is written so well. Season 1's slow. And a lot of characters actually change who they are during season 1, sort of like how our podcast goes. But like, season 2, 3, everything after that, fucking brilliant. Brilliant. One of my favorite shows of all time. Fucking love that show. Krieger. Oh, they're all good. They're all fucking funny, man. Every single character. We like name people in real life Pam. And things in real life Pam. Like, I made like a stocky character in fucking Fallout 4, like a chick character, I called it Pam. I made like a slender, darker woman and called it Lana Crane. And all I did was run around with automatic guns. I was like, yep, that's me. I'm Lana Crane. Like, I fucking love that show, cunt. That show is fucking awesome. I've watched it tons of times. And I think once you like it, you love it. That's one of those things. It's like, I think a lot of people are the same, like, oh, no, it's a cartoon. I don't like it. Not you personally, but like some people are like, no, it's a cartoon. I'm like, you haven't watched it, cunt. Watch it. Watch it. Pretend it's not a cartoon and you'll fucking love it because it's so written so well, like adults would. And like some of the things are ad-libbed as well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's a fucking great show. It's fantastic. Beautiful show. Great show. Number 4 for you.
Lucifer.
Yeah, good show. I liked it.
I got over it a little.
Loved it. Got a little bit over it, but good. Yeah, good show.
I really enjoyed it, eh? Like even the last season was a bit of a fucking 180 to what you would expect of Lucifer or Satan. He's trying to become God because God steps down and he's like, I've got to be God, I've got to help people and and then realizes, no, you don't have to be God. You can go and do something else.
That's why I thought season 1, season 2 was really good because he hadn't lost the sight of him being the devil.
Yeah.
Later on, I think he becomes a little too goody-goody, and it's like, you've lost being the devil. Like you were trying to, like, that's why I think season 1 is so good, is because he's the devil and he gets attracted to a chick that literally said no to him. He's like, people don't say no to me.
Yeah.
And then like she was a detective and a goody-goody, and he couldn't quite fathom it, and he's constantly trying to change her mind. And
I just love the fact like he goes around just willingly. Oh, I'm the devil. Oh yeah, righto. He's like, no, seriously, the devil. Like, I'm the devil. It's like, yeah, I believe you. Not, but yeah, okay, cool. You can see that's what they're thinking when he's like, oh, I'm the devil. It's like, yeah, okay, cool.
Then he just manipulates people and just gets away with it. It's fucking funny.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. But yeah, like even the last couple of seasons I really enjoyed, especially like you could see that devilness come back when they were trying to hurt someone he liked, he loved.
Yeah.
Especially someone close to him, like Chloe or Detective Douche or Dan. Detective Douche. Man. I love that. Detective Douche. But like when someone went to hurt fucking Dan, he would go mental. Someone tries to hurt fucking Maze, mental.
Yeah.
Even fucking Chloe's little Trixie.
Yeah.
He doesn't like children. He doesn't like them at all. But you try and fucking put a finger on Trixie, and oh god, you just wait, the devil will come out. Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah, no, it is a really good premise for a show, and it's a really good show.
Yeah.
Was that number 4 or number 3?
That's my number 4.
Fuck, now I have to do number 3. Fuck, I'm starting to run out of shows, I feel like. No.
I got my last 3.
Ooh, I have 1 maybe. I feel like a lot of those shows I had have already been fucking taken. Or done.
Yeah, we just joined together. It's like, that's mine.
My brain's having a fart at the moment, actually. It's literally just farted. I had shows in my head and now it's just gone. Can you do number 3 and I'll join in from there?
Yeah, my number 3 is Peaky Blinders.
Oh, I've tried to watch that show and I just
absolutely
never got around to finishing it.
Fucking love it, bro.
Yeah.
Especially like it's that it's not like it's that premise between World War II and World War III, like the Industrial Revolution and shit. And it's just a family gang from middle of butt-fuck nowhere in England just becomes this massive gang, goes to take over London.
World War II, World War III? You mean World War I, World War II?
World War I, World War II, yeah.
Yeah, you said 2 to 3.
Between
Vietnam?
yeah. No, like the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
That's the simplest way to say it. Like they're fighting against socialism. That, he's fucking this leader of this gang that owns like manufacturing companies and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just, and they can be brutal as well. I just love that type of fucking shows. Just brutal shows.
Fuck yeah.
Just shows where people just don't give a fuck.
I go about puck.
They just don't like Tommy will come out and he will just not even give two shits who you
Yeah,
are.
I've watched a few like clips of it, but I haven't sat down and watched it all. I watched maybe the first 3 or 4 episodes, and I think I got busy, and then I just never went back to watching it. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the Shelby brothers, they're all brutal in their own way. Like Arthur, he's just fucking mental. He's a head case. Tommy's the one that can like break you down mentally, but also fuck you up physically as well. And then you got John, which is the thick one that thinks he can do both, but he's not really good at both. You know what I mean? But he's there because he's a Shelby brother. There's a reason why Tom is the leader of the gang. He's the smart one. He knows the plans. He knows how to fuck people over just by thinking that he's helping them.
Yeah.
He goes and helps out this family, but really fucks them because there's this whole big like backstory, and you see what's happening in the background while fucking Tommy's helping these people out. It's just fucking awesome.
Fuck yeah.
I
have to give it a watch. Against Tommy
the wrong way.
I have to give it a watch.
You've got to. It's Tommy's in there, mate.
Yeah, I have to watch it. Yeah, I like that shit. You know, I like Snatch and Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels. Like, I like that Tommy fucking renegade shit.
Tommy gangster.
Yeah.
And this was like early days Tommy gangster.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, I have to give it a watch.
It's fucking awesome. It is awesome.
My number 3 is going to be Mythbusters.
Yep.
I don't know. I grew up just loving that show. I don't know if it was the scientific fact or they just blew shit up, or I've gone back and watched it recently again, and I sat through it all and just went, this is fucking awesome. I fucking love this show. I fucking love it. This is fucking, it's educational and it's good. I couldn't get over it. I fucking liked it. When they blow up that cement truck is the best fucking episode ever. No, they are the first people that introduced me to explosions. Like I didn't know what an explosion was and what a real life explosion was until then. You see movie ones and you're like, you're like, cool, movie explosions. But like, once you actually see a real life one, you're like, that's completely different. And your brain actually triggers. It actually goes physically, like physics wise, that actually is exactly how it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Like movies, like that is a bit like over exaggerated, isn't it?
It's over the top. Yeah. And then you
there's that one where they try to blow up the train station. And as the parachute is coming down, like they said, the shock wave was like, I know as the pilot's falling from this, like the shock wave actually blunts his force. So he's not coming out at terminal velocity anymore. And when they slow it down, you actually see the shock wave go out like that. I'm like, that's cool. Like, I didn't know that was a thing until now.
Yeah.
It taught me so much more about like, not just bombs, but like physics and chemistry in general.
The science behind everything.
Which actually gave me a little bit of a love for all that stuff, even though personally I liked biology a lot more. Like, but I mean, like physics is physics. Like it's too much math for me. I liked math, but like I liked chemistry, but like it did spark that scientific fucking thing that is in my head. And that's why I think I like it. I really liked it. I really loved it, man. I fucking watched the shit out of that show. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Number two
is actually a show that I'm on the last season of now, but I've gone back and rewatched the first 14 seasons of it multiple times. There's 15 seasons of this show. Supernatural.
Oh, nah, pass.
I love it. It's
which one's Supernatural? Awesome. Oh, that's the two brothers.
The two brothers.
Yeah. Nah, not a fan. Sorry, bro.
No, that's fine. That's perfect.
I never really watched it, but I mean, like, I think it's one of those shows that, like, if you did watch it, I didn't like it, but I understand why a lot of people would like it.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of other shows, I'm like, I don't get how they could like it. Like a Supernatural, like, I can 100% get behind that show. 100%, but it's just not something that I've put the time in to watch or gotten addicted to.
It's a fuck. I like it. I really enjoy it. Oh, fuck
yeah. Why not? It looks fucking cool, show.
As I said, I've gone back and I've rewatched the first 14 seasons. I'm on to the last season now and I'm just holding it off. I really don't want it to end, but
yeah, fuck yeah. That's all right.
Every TV show's got to end one way or another.
It does have to end one way or another. Unfortunately, some shows you wish went forever, but they just don't, eh?
Yep. Your number two.
Oh, my number two. I'm actually so there's plenty of other shows I could talk about, but I'm actually going to clump these into one. I'm going to go the Chicago series. Not that I've watched Chicago PD, but like Chicago Fire, Chicago Med.
Yeah.
Good. I like how it intertwines. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not over the top. I kind of like how they're using. I don't know if that's the real lingo, but it does look like they've gotten a certain amount of people in to say like, no,
They've
this is
done
how
a
you
bit
do
of
it.
like,
I'm not
they've done a
sure.
bit
It
of
just-
background.
I've watched other
research into it.
firefighting shows and like they do stuff like that, but like you see them in there, they go around, they're doing like the sweep with their hands and they like fire,
Yeah.
saying shit, and they do it every episode. They just constantly drill it into you, like this is
Yeah.
what they're doing every time they do it. It's like, is that what they actually have to do? Like, if so, that's good. And they show like the jaws of life. They show like all their little tools and gadgets to get everything up. And
Yeah.
like, it's kind of, I don't know if it's realistic or not because I haven't done it in real life, but from what I've learned, it looks like it's semi-accurate. I think that's what kind of makes it not too bad.
Speaking of that type of show, like I'm not trying to like hold off saying number one, but speaking
Yeah.
of that sort of shows, because you brought the Chicago series up, have you watched 911?
No,
You haven't.
no.
It's sort of the similar, but it's all so it's American based. So you've got your EMS and your fire department all in the one
Yeah.
firehouse, and then you've got your PD. It's in LA. The first 911 is in LA, but it also brings in the call center.
Okay, cool.
It has the call center's perspective of it all as well. And like one of the main characters is a call operator, a 911
Okay,
operator. And like you could see what the operator goes through before the emergency services get there.
Yeah.
And like it's like as soon as the emergency services get there, they hang up because that's usually what they do is they hang up as soon as they hear sirens or something, they hang up. So the 911 operator doesn't know what the fuck's going on until a report comes out of that. Then they could be a full day going, what the fuck happened? I just spent half an hour on the phone trying to, help this person. What happened? All day they could be doing that. And then a report comes out saying, arrived on time. This is what happened and that. And, it's fucking awesome.
And one thing I liked about the Chicago series was like, especially Chicago Fire, like, there's some episodes where shit goes down. I kind of like, well, this is just fucking neighbors, they seem to get the worst things all the time. But there's episodes where like, they do a few rescues and stuff and they kind of go straight forward for them. And I actually put them in there. It's like it worked out. No one got injured. No one was no like iffy moments. They just like, they nail it. And I like a show that nails it. I like a show, I like a movie that has a superhero that doesn't have a fault. Like, I don't mind it. To me, I don't care. Like,
get in, watch 911. Get
Okay.
in, watch 911. You might, like, as you said with the Chicago series, there's some shit that happens. Like 911, they live in Los Angeles, so they're on the San Andreas fault.
So
there's
that's
gotta be
that's the big
earthquakes
thing
and
about
shit.
like the American one. Then it's like they're in Chicago and stuff like that. We can't relate what's going on there. For all I know, it probably is like that.
Yeah.
How am I gonna fucking know? Like,
they
have all these they have these abandoned buildings and like high rises and stuff like that. They have fires and they need the ones with the ladder. Here in Australia, we don't have that many high rises.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we do, people aren't getting stuck in them because they're not dilapidated. They're all these brand new buildings. It might be a thing later on down the track, but here in Australia, like anything that's over like 5 stories is like less than 15 years old.
Yeah. But yeah, go watch 911. Go
Okay.
find it. Go watch it. Let me know what you think. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Is that your
for an
number 2?
emergency stuff.
What's your number 2?
No, I've already said number 2.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 was Supernatural.
Oh, was that number 2? I thought it was number 3.
No, that was number 2.
All right, number fucking 1.
Because my number 3 was Peaky Blinders.
Ah,
And number
yes.
1, rightio.
I'm bad at this. Sorry, boys.
I've had this since the start. We started this. I've always said it's like this show, especially The Last Kingdom, and it's Vikings. Absolutely.
I knew
fucking
Vikings was going to be a
love
number
the
1.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Like we said, no particular order, but number 1 to me is a number 1 spot for a reason. It might not be no particular order, but number 1.
What my number 1 was going to be Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You brought that up a little earlier for me. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a show that I love. If I tell some guy hasn't watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I don't like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's one of the few shows that like I don't, some music and stuff like that, you got to sort of go, oh yeah, I understand. Or like, oh yeah, no, cool, no, fair enough. When they say I don't like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I don't watch it, I'm like, the fuck's wrong with you? Like,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
okay?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Have you seen more than one episode?
yeah, like, you're all right. Yeah, Vikings.
You
I
might have watched
haven't
a bad
sat down
episode.
and watched it. I haven't.
Yeah.
I just haven't. I really should. Everyone says it's good. I'm just slack a little bit. Sometimes when I come to watching a new show, I'll rewatch an old show.
Yeah. So you know how you were saying like with Game of Thrones, the reason why you didn't like it was there was a lot of different characters and shit. With Vikings, especially the first 3-4 seasons, it's only focused on the one person, Ragnar.
That's fine. That sounds like a good show.
And it focuses on him coming from a farm, just a farmer in the village of Kattegat to becoming king of Kattegat, ruling Kattegat, which is the biggest port in Iceland or wherever they are. They're not in Iceland. They're in Denmark.
Yeah. Viking area.
And yeah, it's the biggest port city that in that area. He becomes the king of that. But then he's got sons, and that's where the second story takes over. It takes over.
Oh, okay,
It's a story about his sons then, the sons of Ragnar, and who the people they become. It's fucking awesome.
Fucking sounds a good show. Oh, I mean, like I said, everyone said it's a good show. I haven't heard anyone say it's a bad show.
Because it's Vikings, there's a lot of infighting, like a lot of brother against brother and like all of that type of thing. Like Ragnar and his brother are always pitted up against each other, even though like they love each other to death and that, but they always find themselves on the wrong side of the battlefield. It's just like, you chose the wrong side. No, I chose the right side. Like it's fucking awesome.
So I have to give it a watch.
Yeah, give it a watch. I'll give Archer a watch if you give Vikings a watch.
100% done.
There we go.
My number one, like they said, no order. Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine probably was going to be my number one. House MD.
Yes, actually.
I don't know if if anyone's seen it. Like, I really like House. Something about it just fucking does it for me. It's a medical show. I don't mind medical shows. He's fucking smart. He has these ups and downs of everything. He's such a cunt, but it's British humor in an American show. It's like Americans can make a good storyline go for a long time, but the British do a really good humor. And like, I think it's the fact that it is Hugh Laurie. Is it? Yeah, Hugh Laurie that is House. It's like, he's a British comedian. He was fucking, what is it, Blackadder? Yep. He was in that and stuff like that. He's a fucking funny cunt.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and it's just, he does it so perfectly. He does that cunt character so fucking perfectly because because it's a British humor. Because it's that British cold, dark sense of humor.
Just
and it
says it how it is. Like if you're there to try and steal drugs off he's just like, nah, fuck off, get out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Like,
Everybody
there's nothing
lies.
wrong with you. Just
everybody
go.
lies.
Yeah.
No,
you got to figure out what they're trying to say because
that's a good show.
They'll come in and say something's wrong, but that's not exactly what's
if I
wrong.
get like 2 seconds myself, I need to calm my brain down. I just watch House at the moment. That's what I'm watching at the moment. I'm just rewatching. I haven't like watched an episode in a couple of days, but like when I do, I'll just sit down and watch one episode. Like, funnies, House.
Like, and like I gotta admit, like the missus loves House. I'll sit down and watch House as well. And there'll be some things that will pop up in other TV shows, and she's just like, "That's like they tried to copy that from House."
Yeah, they do. And then it's surprising how many small characters, like just like one episode appearances as like them being a patient, turn out to be like superstars later on or something like that.
Yeah.
Like Cutner in the later seasons is fucking Harold and Kumar.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Olivia Wilde is one of the characters there. Obviously Chase ends up being Matt Casey in fucking Chicago Fire and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's weird how like, and then like Cameron ends up being Zoe and How I Met Your Mother and stuff like that. You know, it's funny how like all these characters seem to go out to a lot of other things. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool that like House was like their start.
Yeah. You got like
there's a few other actors in there that make you like, they're in House. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
This is a patient too.
Name? She's the blonde resident. What's her fucking name?
Cameron.
Nah, Jennifer
Morrison.
Yeah,
Cameron.
that's the Cameron.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dr. Cameron. Yeah. Yeah,
Dr.
she ends up being
Cameron,
Zoe in How I Met Your Mother and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
There's fucking
And then
It's
Olivia
about-
Wilde is one of them too.
Olivia Wilde. Wasn't Sebastian Stan in there as well for a little while?
Oh,
He was in
yeah,
there for like an episode or two.
Yeah, he's a
Bucky.
fucking patient.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's a
Bucky.
patient in there. Like that's what I mean. A few of these people are just patients, and they end
Yeah.
up becoming stars. There's a few of them. I can't think of all of them. As a couple, I think
Captain Holt's in it
who?
as a doctor. Captain Holt.
Yeah. There you go. Perfect. He's the psychiatrist fucking doctor.
Yeah.
Because once I got to
Yeah.
that, because I'd watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine before I'd watched House. Because I went back
Yeah.
and watched House because I found it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I watched like, oh, Captain Holt.
Yeah.
Oh, they said Captain Hulk. I'm like, who the fuck is Captain Hulk?
No, Captain Holt.
That ain't
Raymond
better.
Holt. Raymond Holt.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
there's
How many
like-
fucking different
yeah.
characters are in that.
There's so many, like either got their start or
Yeah,
there's just a small role in there.
it's
that
really
led
small
to
role, and
bigger.
then they've come later.
Yeah.
Even like Harold and Kumar, that fella's in there. I think even like the other one, Harold or Kumar, whichever one's not Dr.
Harold.
makes an appearance as a patient too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's shit like that, yeah. I fucking love that show, man. That show is
Yeah,
fucking boss
it's
to me.
It's a good show. That's a good shout. I'll gotta admit that.
Anyway, that should be the end of this. So this has gone on for too long. Too long. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Like I said, we're probably just gonna be doing stories and talking about things we like more than topics. We have some, I don't know. Podcast is podcast. We're just gonna do whatever the fuck we like because it's our podcast and fuck yous if you don't like it. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. You've all
Yeah.
been amazing. Much love.
Run it. Hit that Gucci store, girl, make your ankles pop. Hit that Louis store, girl, make you feel on top. Swerve, 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 girl, I don't believe it. Flex, 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 girl, it's all I see is